Alright, so Mr. Will Renton, my good friend. So, you are a local Corvallis DJ.
That's right.
What's that like?
Well, you know, I mean, you take what you can get. The Corvallis PD's made it kind of hard, but with all the parties I've been able to go to, they usually pack up pretty quick, and I mean, I don't know, they're one of the more fun things I think I can do here. I mean, given any opportunity, I always still do any of them for free just for the exposure and the fun of it, because I mean, I don't know. I don't really have any more fun at any party than any party I'm DJing at, I guess would be the way I'd put it.
Makes you kind of the life of the party?
I mean, I do. I love the attention, I suppose.
Okay. So, start with a pretty broad question. So why DJing? What kind of led you to become a DJ, and what about DJing made it kind of stand out to you?
Well, I mean, I've always been into things that were really rhythm-based. I've been a drummer since I was forced into it as a young 5th grader. But I soon grew to love it after I got my own set and really started to practice and get good at it. And then when I got to college, I found that there really was no way to take my drum set for a multitude of reasons. The worst of all, though, was when Step Brothers came out. Everybody insists upon putting their ball sack upon it. So I kind of looked for another outlet, and my love for EDM kind of just drove me to DJing, because I mean, it's what I like to go to and attend and spend a lot of time doing as it was. And I just kind of was messing around with the softwares on the computer and such. And after a while, I borrowed one of my brother's friends, I think it was a Newmark, just really crappy little controller, and just made my own little mixes on Virtual DJ and had an absolute blast with it. And ever since then, I upgraded to a Tractor, and there's been no turning back since. I just spent hours and hours and hours doing it these days.
So, you mentioned that you're using a Tractor or a different kind of controller a long time ago. How much, since DJing's been kind of mainstream, how much of those evolved? Because you look at something like a guitar, and the guitar's kind of been a guitar, pretty much the same fundamentally for the last 90 years. But that's really evolved and changed a lot just within years, right?
Yes and no. I mean, fundamentally, the same same concepts are being used in every sort of mixing style, whether it be a controller or vinyl turntables or CDJs. Those are all different methods that people use professionally. And as far as controllers go, really they haven't added much but ways to, I don't know how to put this, I guess just special effects and such. Essentially the same concept of just going from track to track, raising the volume of one, reducing the other slowly, and making it sound seamless. It's roughly been the same concept ever since the whole DJing concept came about. But with newer technologies, you get into things this is just controlling what's on your computer screen as opposed to actually scratching a record and making the noise that way. That's more how it's evolved, the behind the scenes kind of situation, I suppose. And, all of these new computer fancy gizmo buttons, these are all just, they don't add to the core value of DJing, they're just little bells and whistles that are added on the end. I guess that's how I would put it.
Yeah, every year they kind of get more and more bells and whistles.
Yeah, I mean, you get new things each year that are helpful, but I don't find them absolutely essential. You could take away probably at least 60% of the buttons and be just fine, really.
Okay.
Buttons and knobs, I guess.
So, to you, is this more of just a hobby, or do you see this kind of do you see you doing this just the rest of your life because it's something you like to do, or do you see maybe making a career out of this, maybe moving from bigger venues?
I don't know. I kind of don't try and predict the future because I find things change so much. But I did initially just start this out as a hobby, but as I've gotten gigs here and there and had so much fun doing it, I mean, I'd like to continue doing it as long as I can and stay relevant. And especially since I'm willing to do this stuff for free, I hope that's not too challenging, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I mean, I have no plans of stopping, so.
It's one of those things that just looks really incredibly fun to do. What's that feeling like? Because you're one of the few people who has kind of a hobby where you get a bunch of people who are just going nuts, dancing, drinking, and just all looking to you, all facing you, and you kind of, in a way, you're kind of directing them. You're kind of you're controlling what they're going to be hearing, how they're going to be kind of feeling on dance floor, festival, whatever. Like, what's that like? Just to have all those people and then you.
I've been a performer for a long time. I mean, I've been a school band since I was in middle school, and you've always had concerts and stuff like that, and then you always get the rush of performing. But I'd say this is like the ultimate, most extreme form of it, because not only are you the only person up there usually, but everybody is as crazy as they're gonna be in most occasions, and they're just loving it, and they're showing you immediate response if they enjoy what they love. And I know, it's an absolute blast. Like, when you are absolutely killing it, there's no better feeling. Like, that's one of the best natural highs I've personally ever experienced. So, I love it.
Wow. All right. Well, it all sounds pretty awesome. I think we're out of time, but thank you for stopping by. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. We're done.
Been over making me the damn boat.